From an old man run over by a TikToker.
I don't know, it was weird, so... Fuck!
To Twitch streamers proudly running red lights.
That happens all the time.
And Clavicular plowing a guy with a Cybertruck.
Oh my god!
Recently, incidents of live streamers getting into trouble while behind the wheel, it's seemingly become a weekly occurrence. And with streaming platforms doing little to stop this, the injuries, wrecks, and deaths are going to start piling up. Today I'll be doing a deep dive into these cases, and hopefully make it clear to you all that live streaming and interacting with chat while operating motor vehicles is a disaster waiting to happen. Don't stream and drive, folks. TikToker hits beloved grocery employee at a crosswalk. While most tend to associate on-stream vehicular mishaps with sites like Twitch and Kick, our homegirl Tea Time is here to remind you all that TikTok Live has its fair share of idiot drivers too. Let's set the scene.
Y'all already know me, right? So y'all know if my mind isn't in full capacity, it's hard for me to host live.
On the evening of November 3rd, 2025, 59-year-old Darren Lucas of Zion, Illinois had just clocked out from his job. The guy had just finished a long shift at the local Torres Fresh Market grocery and was eager to get back home and relax with his wife. Darren exits the store and begins to walk his way home. It was a bit chilly out, but it was peaceful. Elsewhere, behind the wheel of a 2015 Ford Edge is social media influencer Tea Time, real name Tynesha McCarty-Roten. Tynesha is apparently some sort of author known for creative works such as Dear Black King and Love Chose Me, which have collectively sold tens of copies. When she isn't writing book slop, the woman spends most of her time live streaming and calling into TikTok gossip panels. She also reads and responds to chatters in the live comments of these things. On November 3rd, she was allegedly streaming while driving, and reportedly when Darren Lucas crossed the street near 33rd and Sheridan, this happened.
I don't know, it was weird, so... Fuck!
What was
Let
that?
me call you right now. Oh, fuck.
What was that?
Fuck.
I'm gonna take somebody.
If you listen closely, it sounds like she says, "I hit somebody."
I'm gonna take somebody. I'm gonna take somebody. I'm gonna take somebody.
Yep, this poor guy who had just gotten off of his shift from what was likely a minimum wage job had just been hit by a TikTok gossip live streamer.
I need to start getting my watch hours up over here anyway.
So...
Tea Time, who actually had a kid with her in the car when this happened, gets out and finds Darren out cold. To her credit, she at least calls 911. Police and first responders arrived at 5:46 p.m., finding Mr. Lucas gravely wounded, unconscious, and he wasn't breathing. This truly unfortunate grocery worker who was just minding his own business was rushed to a nearby hospital. There, the man would be sadly pronounced dead from blunt force injuries suffered from the vehicle impact. Now, surely Tynesha Tea Time here is about to be slapped in cuffs and given some time to reflect about this in county jail, right? Well, no. And it all comes down to police not getting the full story here. After Tynesha had called 911, she was fully cooperative with on-scene police. She portrayed the incident as a freak tragic accident, reportedly claiming she had a green light when Darren crossed the road and wasn't able to see him in time to stop. Something cops apparently believed at the time, perhaps thinking Darren had performed a miscalculated jaywalk. Another thing that played out in her favor with cops here is that Tynesha would consent to a blood and urine test, which apparently proved she wasn't under the influence. But you could say she was on something stronger than drugs or alcohol when this collision happened, as this lady was mainlining that TikTok dopamine straight to the noggin. Yeah, about that. A key detail seemingly not known by police was that she was allegedly live streaming to TikTok when Darren Lucas was hit. But regardless, she passed all of the cops' charisma checks with ease. Tynesha would be let go and face no charges. After all, it was just an accident, right? Escaping consequence for the moment, T's time would eventually run out. As well, folks, you gotta remember that she was streaming to an audience when that collision happened, and some of these purported witnesses would speak up. A Redditor claiming to have been in the live stream when things took place wrote this about Tynesha's actions, quote, She was driving while talking to everyone in the chat, responding to comments, looking at the screen way too much. You could clearly tell she wasn't paying attention to the road. I remember thinking, girl, please just focus, this isn't safe. Then suddenly in the middle of the conversation, there was this loud thud like the car hit something. Her phone jerked, the camera shook, and then she just froze. The look on her face was pure shock. She put the phone down, opened the door, and got out. People in the chat were confused, asking what happened, and then the live just ended. Later, I kept checking her page because I just knew something horrible happened. Sure enough, news stories started popping up. She had hit a pedestrian, a man, and he died from his injuries. A man died because she wanted attention from a live stream, unquote. The stream archive of this incident, which is what I showed you earlier and was just referenced by this Redditor, would soon be published to the web, and police would certainly take note of this video footage. Investigators decided to take a look at CCTV camera archives from businesses near where Darren Lucas had been hit. According to reports, they managed to find a video showing Tea Time's vehicle moments before the impact. This footage allegedly showed that the light was in fact not green and was reportedly red when the distracted streamer barreled through it, hitting Mr. Lucas at approximately 35 miles an hour. If that information is true, then T flat out lied to the cops in more ways than just by omission. In light of these findings, Tynesha Roten was compelled to surrender her phone to investigators so that a forensic analysis could be performed. The heat was most certainly on, but Tynesha maintained complete innocence, and even went on live stream around this time to beg for money, saying she was going through a lot, acting as if she was some sort of victim in all of this.
I want y'all to be able to have the part of me, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, I'm not distracted or anything like that. Y'all, my Cash App up there if y'all want to support while I'm on mental leave. You know I don't like asking y'all for shit. But if y'all find it in y'all heart, and y'all want to support, my Cash App is right there.
Considering this stream was just 3 days after the death of Darren Lucas, responses to the Cash App e-begging session were unsympathetic to say the least. A commenter writes, "Cash App? After mowing over somebody's grandpa?"
I really need to make this fucking money. I've wanted it so fucking bad.
T's time would eventually come. On December 23rd, 2025, after completing their review of all the evidence against her, the Lake County State Attorney's Office executed an arrest warrant for Tynesha, citing felony charges of reckless homicide and aggravated use of an electronic communication device. The TikTok gossiper would soon after be picked up at her house by officers and taken to the station. The woman was booked, granted bond and released, and currently awaits future court hearings. Vehicular accidents where someone is hit often result in no prison time at all, but the key word is accident. Given the apparent aggravating factors such as the streaming while driving, I wouldn't be surprised if Tea Time Tynesha ends up spending years behind bars for the death of Darren Lucas. However, her fate is not for me to decide. I want to emphasize Tynesha remains innocent of all charges until proven guilty in court, and any criminal involvement in Mr. Lucas's death is only alleged at this point. Speaking of Darren Lucas, I do want to highlight and pay respects to this guy. By all accounts, Darren Lucas was a hard-working man who was loved by seemingly everyone in his community. The man had worked at the grocery store off Sheridan and 33rd Street for many years, and his positive and cheerful attitude was deeply appreciated by co-workers and customer alike. Darren wasn't just a welcomed presence at work, he was a provider at home and beyond. Not only supporting his loving wife, but selflessly giving back to his greater community in whatever way he could. Family described him as a man who wished to help those in need, be it with blood donations or by charity contributions. A man named Chris King, who is Darren's son-in-law, has created a GoFundMe in an effort to raise money for Darren's widowed wife, and he's written this about Darren's character. Quote, "I know he would really want his everything to not have to worry so much about the future, especially without him by her side. She is far too proud to ask, and that's why I'll be asking forgiveness instead of permission. I love this family that adopted and accepted me into their family." So far, this GoFundMe has raised close to $6,000. It's a true shame what happened to this guy. If you'd like to support Darren's family, the link to the GoFundMe is in the description. Rest in peace to Darren Lucas. Our next chapter is street racing idiots crash on stream, but it isn't their fault, okay guys? 24-year-old Jalen Melton is a Maryland-born Twitch streamer who goes by the name Melt is Live. He's a popular Twitch guy who's in the orbit of Aiden Ross. So we're already off to a horrible start. Most of Melt's content centers around IRL streaming in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, he often drives while he's live and interacts with his chat while doing so, but whatever, Twitch doesn't seem to care, and that's not even the worst of it with this guy. On April Fool's Day of 2024, Melt was live while driving, and he takes his phone out to show his chat a text message he had recently gotten. While doing so, he crashes into somebody like a fucking idiot.
Bro, come on, bro. Say nothing, bro. You just hit my shit, bro. You just hit my shit, bro.
Given how much pushback they've been getting more recently, Twitch is starting to get slightly more sensitive about driving and streaming. And when they found this clip, they did ban Melt for dangerous or distracted driving and using a phone while driving on stream. And with that, the story is over and he was permanently banned. Just kidding, he'd be unbanned a week later and would subsequently be involved in a multiple vehicle pileup that threatened the lives of dozens. In the early morning hours of November 30th, 2025, after Melt had spent the night IRL streaming at a skating rink with other content creators, one of note being YouTuber Jay Sean, the posse of streamers got in separate vehicles and took to the Interstate for what turns into some good old-fashioned high-speed hooliganry. Jay Sean, at speed, pulls up besides Melt, and the two begin to race a bit. Their vehicles can be heard audibly revving up. I'm sure this ends well.
Bro, this nigga Jay Sean. Bro, this nigga Jay Sean just hit me, bro.
Get out. What the fuck?
Bro, this nigga Jay Sean just hit me, bro.
Something unique about this incident is that both vehicles in the wreck were streaming from their own perspectives. Here's Jay Sean's shot of it. Another Twitch streamer who was driving behind this entourage, Hi Joe, would later broadcast aftermath of the wreck. The stream ended soon after and police came to clean up after these adult children. A spokesperson for the Atlanta Police Department reported that a total of 3 vehicles were involved in the accident. No one seemed to have suffered any critical injuries, well, outside of a passenger in Jay Sean's car who reportedly had a broken leg. Remarkably, nobody was arrested despite the whole thing being recorded, which I think is insane. Like, they clearly know what they're doing is wrong here and were literally reckless driving for content. One of the most frustrating elements of this story is Melt's inability to take any responsibility for it. Yeah, he was technically the guy that got hit, but the stream footage doesn't lie. He was egging the other driver on and shouldn't have been driving while live streaming, interacting with chat in the first place.
Every time I get in the car, bro, chat, I think I'm finna crash. It could be somebody else driving. It's not a skill issue. I wasn't speeding. This is the thing, chat. I just happen to be going faster than the person next to me. I'm so traumatized. I am traumatized, bruh. What is happening to me?
Play victim all you want, dumbass. Nobody cares.
I really need to make this fucking money.
These live streamers are like allergic to taking responsibility for their actions. It's almost like they would fucking spontaneously combust if they just apologized.
It has the capacity to vibrate.
The online community let him have it. N-word crash every 3 months. Idiot. Cool, do it on your own, bro, but you got people in the car with you. Why are you even entertaining that? Good, fuck this guy. People defending Melt are dense. If any of them passengers died, he'd get charged with vehicular manslaughter and get life in prison. Neither Jay Sean or Melt gave a fuck about their own lives, their passengers' lives, or bystanders' lives. Fuck them. After the accident, Twitch banned Melt's live for violation of Twitch's community guidelines or terms of service. This ban being permanent. And again, I'm actually just kidding. He was unbanned a few weeks later in December of 2025. Twitter reaction. Bro was racing then crashing and he gets an unbanned but not perma-ban. At Twitch, you ain't it, my guy, big ass L.
Do you feel like you were at fault for the car crash?
No, I know I wasn't at fault for the car crash.
When pressed about his involvement in this car crash, Melt always falls back to the excuse of, well, the cops told me I wasn't at fault for the crash, so I'm not.
When a police report is dropped and says you're not at fault, I'm not at fault.
You can't erase the stream footage that shows you phone in hand, car full of people literally revving your engine up at the guy as he tries to pass you. Not to mention the other guy is just some small streamer who's clearly trying to, make content and impress you. So yes, in my opinion, your actions did contribute to that car crash happening.
I knew that I wasn't at fault when I got out the car.
Okay.
Because I know how to drive my car.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't speak for everybody else.
Okay.
But if I'm being honest, I know how I was driving. I've done it all the time. I have a car that is literally made for what I'm doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm driving a Civic and then my tire blow out. No, I'm driving a $80,000 car that I know can go at high speeds and maintain its lane. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just driving at accelerated speed, like I said. And I was pit maneuvered, literally. No, I know I wasn't at fault for the car crash.
Guys, I think this might just be the dumbest person in the history of Twitch. Holy fuck. Please revoke this dude's license immediately. Streaming while driving is bad, but sleeping while driving is even worse. Yep, this sleep-deprived trucker just flipped a minivan and is going to prison. Could have all been prevented with a good night's sleep. And this mask that I'm wearing gets me the best sleep that I've had in my life, and it's made by today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. So my journey with sleep masks is I started using them on and off back when I worked night shift as a nurse because, well, I would sleep during the daytime and needed something to keep light out of my eyes. And all jokes and ridiculous skits aside, this is the best sleep mask I've ever owned. It's super easy to put on, it's very adjustable, it's extremely comfortable, lightweight and soft, and most importantly, no light gets in through these things. And when I put this thing on, all the BS that's going outside of my bedroom might as well be non-existent. I'm going right to sleep. This particular model is actually Manta's sound mask, so it has Bluetooth speakers inside of it. So whenever you're wearing it, you're going to bed, you can listen to your boring history videos to fall asleep to like I do. And aside from sleep masks, Manta has one of the best noise machines that I've ever used. This thing creates what I like to call an audio force field around your sleeping area, blocking out external sounds while playing peaceful white noise, ocean sounds, rain, whatever calms you down. If you're in a noisy apartment or deal with loud outside traffic when you're trying to sleep, this thing is for you. So if you guys want to join Manta in their pro sleep movement, click the link down in the description box and use code WAVY at checkout to get 10% off your order. The worst driver on Twitch.tv. It's unfortunate because of stereotypes and all, but one of the worst drivers on the internet just so happens to be an Asian woman.
It must be on the other side. Right, chat? Oh! Did you hear that?
Extra Emily began streaming back in May of 2020, quietly building an audience thanks to her bubbly personality and somewhat chaotic IRL streams. Emily rose through the ranks of Twitch, rubbing shoulders with all of the other streamers that you seemingly are required to if you want to have any high level of success on that website. Sure, she's had a handful of controversies. I mean, who hasn't?
Can you name 3 streamers you will never do a stream with again?
Extra Emily.
Bruh, nigga.
Only lame niggas say that shit.
But generally speaking, Extra Emily is mostly harmless. Well, that is until you put her behind the wheel of a 4-door sedan. Dog, you better lock the fuck in because this girl's about to kill you.
So you do see this big pothole coming up right
Helvete! I
now.
didn't see that.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't drive.
Emily is somewhat notorious for live streaming when she drives, which on one hand I reckon is useful if you're trying to capture evidence of somebody hitting you. I mean, she was rear-ended by an Asian man while live one time.
And there's 1,000 Someone just rear-ended me.
More often than not though, her streaming while driving only serves as a distraction. She's jostled passengers, slammed into objects, and hit vehicles while live, laughing it off as if it's just this, innocent, cute, oopsie type moment.
Emily.
What?
Would you like
Slow down.
Would you like to slow down and move to the right lane? So we're
You were
not.
going 81.
Okay, now there's one lane.
70.
Please.
Chick-fil-A's the best. Chick-fil-A's the best. Chick-fil-A's the best. I think Chick-fil-A is amazing. Oh!
I saw it coming. I was waiting for it.
I need to do a U-turn.
Emily being a destructive, distracted driver was something of an open secret that was even played off as more of a meme by her own community. But eventually her brazen behavior would break containment and start to raise eyebrows. Twitch as a website does have a policy about streaming while driving, and that policy is, well, it's technically allowed, but you must not be interacting with your phone or reading chat. There are other caveats, but that's the main one. And with that said, take a look at this clip from October of 2023.
Right? Okay, what do I do if they're still calling? No, my Duolingo streak ends! Okay.
This stream clip was shared by Dexerto, clearly showing Emily violating the rules, driving extremely distracted, and on her phone. It's interesting to look at the comments under this post, because at the time, people were still actually defending Emily's phone usage and calling Dexerto narcs. Which that is true about Dexerto, but it is interesting to see how much good faith people still had in Emily regarding her driving degeneracy back 3 years ago. Anyways, this clip actually got the attention of Twitch, and they would enforce their rule here, giving the streamer an 18-hour ban, which Extra Emily seemingly took in stride. Upon her return after the ban, she said this: "I completely understand why I was banned, because I was looking at my phone while driving, and from that ban, I have learned from my mistake, and I'm going to make sure I grow from it and not look at my phone ever again while streaming." Speaking like she's some sort of rehabilitated criminal, she adds, quote, "I am reformed. It will be great, and I won't promote this distracted driving on stream anymore, or on stream or anything. I did a lot of self-reflection over the past few days," unquote. Turns out though, the only reflecting she did was through the glass screen of her smartphone. As in April of 2025, Emily would somehow one-up herself, as she would live stream herself barreling through a red light in front of thousands of viewers.
Okay, keep going. Okay, I'm stopping. Okay, we're good. Okay, no problem. That happens all the time. In Austin, like, the stoplights here are really long.
What's fucking insane to me about this clip is that if she just wasn't messing with her phone, the chat wouldn't have even seen her run the red light. It's so bizarre. Like, it's almost as if she was intentionally trying to make content out of her running the red light. It's just really bafflingly stupid and makes no sense. Chat was immediately furious. It was clear as day what had happened, but Emily didn't seem to think it was that big of a deal. Emily's immediate response to this red light running situation was telling. It's clear, at least to me, that she felt people were blowing things out of proportion. It's like she felt, maybe she was perhaps not beholden to the same driving rules that everyone else is. What's the big deal? What's the worst thing that could happen? Guys, the red lights in Austin, they just last too long, so I just run them, lol.
That happens all the time.
Emily came off as entitled and totally ignorant of the danger she was putting other drivers in by doing this. When Twitter got a hold of the clip, Emily's red light rampage became something of an inescapable drama topic. Folks were not just making fun of her for being a horrible female Asian driver, they were calling for her to be permanently banned from Twitch. She should be banned and fined because there is no shortage of evidence. Very humorous until someone does the same thing and puts you and your car through a coffee shop. Let women have hobbies, for fucking God's sake. Twitch would enforce their policy here and ban Emily, though as they do with many of their, let's just say, preferred streamers, put your dick away, Dan, the ban wouldn't be permanent. It ultimately lasted just 24 hours.
Oh, I should show you my office.
Yes, this looks great.
It's hard to imagine that if some random glup shitto streamer broke the driving TOS twice that they wouldn't be permanently banned. But hey, that's Twitch for you. Another irritating element to how Twitch handled this ban was the fact that while Emily was banned, they posted a promotional advertisement supporting her, and they directly tagged her in it. So, yeah, guys, there's definitely no preferential treatment on Twitch. The Twitch cabal, it's fake, and I'm just schizophrenic for believing in it. Given the kid glove treatment from Twitch here, it should come at no surprise that Emily was meek when addressing what had happened. Her response can literally boil down to a Discord message where she admits fault for being on her phone while driving, but that's about it. She doesn't even mention the red light part of it and just like says, "Hey guys, something happened. I don't know, I was banned, but I'll be back soon." Quote, "Hello everyone, it has come to my attention that I have been banned. It is due to the distracted driving, which is very understandable. It is unfortunate timing, as I was looking forward to the doggos, but we will just have to go next year. I will keep trying my best to have fun content and improve from this mishap. I shall be back either tomorrow or Tuesday. Not sure what I am streaming yet. Thank you for the support and have a great rest of your weekend." What? After her 24-hour ban had elapsed, Emily came back to streaming, doing so in a tongue-in-cheek broadcast where she claimed she would be getting driving lessons from a driving instructor who was actually just some like random member of OTK. Seems like she was really taking the criticism seriously, right? Nah. The red light running and all of the controversy was just a big joke to her, and she never really took responsibility for it in a meaningful way. Emily still streams and is massively successful, albeit not as reputationally flawless as she once was. She's most certainly entered that league of Twitch streamers that the worst people on Twitter will defend tooth and nail and ignore any bit of their baggage. I can already hear wavy web surface and incel being typed into the comments section right now, as a matter of fact.
Thank you, chat, for 15,000 subs. I really appreciate it.
Drunk driver live streams her confession and all the evidence to police. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's a unique one in that the streamer in question was actually in fact caught because the chat helped police find her. On the night of October 9th, 2015, 23-year-old Whitney Beal had gone to a bar in Lakeland, Florida for a night of drinking and partying. Throughout the evening, she started live streaming herself on Periscope as she continued to get sloshed, becoming clearly inebriated. However, as the night started to wind down, Whitney would make one of the worst decisions of her life, choosing not only to get behind the wheel of a Toyota Corolla, but also live stream herself driving drunk to Twitter's Periscope platform.
Driving home drunk. Let's see if I get a DUI. In the USA, people, let's see if I get a DUI.
Realizing Whitney was about to not only risk her life, but everyone else's on the road, her chat immediately pushed back, but she keeps on with the madness.
I'm waiting at a red light right now because I'm super scared. I am really scared to get pulled over. Oh my god, I didn't know I'd get this many people. I am super drunk in the USA and their light is red, I promise.
Hey guys, I think this girl might be drunk. In all seriousness, this is why they make such a big deal about drinking and driving. I'm just gonna let more of this footage play. You do not want these people on the road. And yeah, the harsh punishments are warranted for DUIs.
As I'm driving drunk right now. Please supervise me because I'm driving super drunk right now. I feel like I'm not driving straight, but I should be because I am pretty drunk.
Eventually, Whitney's drunken joyride would near its end, as at some point she drove right through a street sign in the road median, which damaged her vehicle and caused her to kind of slow down.
I think I'm on a flat tire. This is horrible.
While all of this is happening, viewers in her Periscope chat had been reporting the incident to police, and their tips helped them triangulate the location of where she was driving. Whitney was just lost in a residential neighborhood, low on fuel, and had a flat tire from hitting the sign. Thanks from calls from viewers who were watching her streams, the police got on Periscope as well and just started tracking her. Thankfully, Lakeland officers would locate Whitney Beal driving east on Carpenter's Way, and they pulled her over. Officers noticed a smell of alcohol and her eyes were bloodshot, glassy. During their investigation, she refused the breathalyzer and she slurred her words, completely flunking the sobriety test, which led her to being subsequently arrested and charged with the DUI. The Periscope stream was available for anyone to watch for about 24 hours, but it would be taken down. A police detective did save an archive of it and it was used as evidence against her. Later, on February 9th, 2016, Whitney would plead no contest to driving under the influence, and given her actions and flaunting her crime to the public, she'd receive a harsher than usual punishment for her actions, being given a 6-month suspension to her license, 10 days of vehicle impoundment, and 12 months of probation along with 150 hours of community service. That's along with 10 days of weekend work release, and she was made to pay over $1,000 in court costs and fines. Whitney's case is probably the most egregious example that I'm aware of a live streamer broadcasting themselves drunk driving. And it's truly a miracle that she didn't kill someone or herself that evening. The Clavicular Cybertruck catastrophe. Those of you who watched my looks maxing video from like a month ago already know this guy. Clavicular is a looks maxer who went from shitposting to incel forums to now being one of the most popular live streamers in the world and the face of the looks maxing community itself. You could describe this guy as a renaissance man, but for guys in their early 20s who still haven't gotten laid. And there's nothing wrong with that, I'm just saying that's kind of what he is. There's so many young guys that aspire to be Clavicular right now, it's crazy. And he's quite a divisive figure to say the least.
He's like, oh, Clav, why do you gotta say the N-word? It's like, because it gets me views, why would I not?
Somebody told me you do math too. I do math, yes. So I do math to, basically suppress my appetite.
Described by many as the real-life version of Patrick Bateman, I think it would be more of a challenge for me to come up with one non-controversial element about this guy than to just explain all of the bad shit that he's done. But we don't have all day. For the purposes of this video, we're focusing in on what, in my opinion, is truly one of the most indescribably unhinged clips in the history of streaming itself. And you bet it involves a motor vehicle. Oh my God! Everyone knows about this incident, but the finer details are often lost on people. So outside of being a self-absorbed psycho, why did Clavicular run over a guy while live to tens of thousands of viewers? On Christmas Eve of 2025, Clavicular was live streaming around Miami to Kick, when at some point he was confronted by a couple of stream snipers who seemingly had issue with Clavicular's frequent use of the N-word. Though in general, I get the vibe that these dudes just wanted attention and that was a convenient excuse.
Release the cookie files, Clavicular! Release the cookie files! Release the cookie files! You know what I'm
Release
talking
the
about?
cookie files, I'm
I'm
telling you!
in Miami! Release the cookie files!
You see what happened with your buddy Ed Matthews?
Come on
What
now.
happened with my
Release
buddy?
the cookie file, that's all you want to know! Release
Hey,
it!
tell them about the N-word. You said it today.
Oh yeah, I have to check you.
Yeah.
Why do you think feeling common black people than is bad?
You can't say
How you feel about that? You can't say that, bro. You can't call us. We work hard. We work hard for our moms.
As you can see, Clav was getting his cortisol raised thoroughly by these goons. This wasn't even the first time that Clavicular had encountered these guys, as the one here with the blonde hair, who goes by the name Recon on social media, can actually be seen throwing some sort of red liquid on Clavicular in a neon live stream from several weeks earlier.
bitch ass, nigga. Shut the fuck up, man. What's wrong with you, nigga? What's wrong with you? I'm telling you.
And with that incident showcase, it would be fair to say that there was something of a contentious history between Clavicular and this particular stream sniper. All of that contention would come to a head on this Christmas Eve live stream. The exchange between these snipers and Clavicular escalates into a bit of a shoving match, with Clavicular essentially falling for the inflammatory tactics of the snipers. They had successfully hijacked his stream, which is like the dream of any, IRL troll. He gave them what they wanted. This goes on for close to half an hour until Clavicular, clearly irritated, decides to go to his car and leave the area. And as he's walking to his car, he's like, I want to fucking kill these guys.
Yeah, I know the best course of action, but I want to kill every one of these guys.
And he subsequently appears to almost do that.
Oh my fucking
Start driving with this guy. Drive.
Oh my fucking. Oh my god! You probably just ran him over. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
Wait, is everything okay?
No.
I'm sorry.
Fuck. You gotta get to these cops.
For those watching at the time, it appeared we had our first recorded homicide on Kick. New world record. But seriously, man, this clip is so insane to me. I remember watching this on Twitter when it dropped and was like, bro, this dude is going to prison for at least 10 years. Like, what the fuck is he doing? After hitting the guy, Clavicular would pull over in a nearby parking lot and, to his credit, notifies the police about what had happened, getting in touch with them on the phone. The fate of the guy he hit remained a mystery at the time. Eventually, Clav made the wise decision to shut the stream off and then immediately makes a poor one by calling Aiden Ross for legal advice.
The good thing is, listen, it's Christmas and a lot of my lawyers, they don't celebrate Christmas, so you're gonna be good.
The question on everyone's mind was, is Clavicular going to prison? And why wasn't he already in jail? No arrests were made, no charges filed. Clavicular had been banned from Kick, but this was the least of his troubles at the time. The anticipation of what would happen to him and what became of the apparent victim was all-consuming. At this time, you have to remember this was occurring on Christmas Eve, so literally everyone is at home with their families, they're off work, chilling, and watching this play out. People on Twitter are totally enraptured by this live-streamed vehicular ramming. Unfortunately, for those who wanted to see this looks maxer inside of a cell, they wouldn't get their Christmas wish. The Miami police determined that no crime had been committed, and I can somewhat understand why they came to this conclusion, as another angle from the perspective of the stream sniper would be released, and it shows the recon guy jumping on the hood of the vehicle and getting tossed over to the side, which is a bit different than what Clavicular's perspective of things made it look like, because it seemed like from his perspective, Clavicular just ran straight over the guy and busted his head open. And this is total speculation, but I could imagine police took the guy's persistent stream sniping, heckling, and jumping on Clavicular's hood into account as well. This person wasn't doing themselves any favors. I've actually managed to unearth a video I doubt any of you have seen, but it appears to be the stream sniper that Clavicular hit laying on the ground breathing with his eyes closed. The clip looks pretty bad, but apparently the guy was okay.
He makes every People are penis hard.
He's definitely still alive, as there's actually been videos featuring him published in the time since this happening. One of which shows him referencing looks maxing and saying that he's the, you know, #1 wheelchair maxer.
Hey, what happened to you?
I'm wheelchair max.
Damn. Oh shit. That boy popping a wheelie. Oh, that Jasper.
A final note on this recon fella is that he recently posted a story to Insta seemingly asking Aiden Ross to set up a boxing fight with him and Clavicular. So yeah, take that as you will. Whatever the case, despite being cleared of any legal wrongdoing, I have to comment that Clavicular's cold quip after running the guy over definitely rubbed me and many others the wrong way.
Is he dead?
I don't know.
Hopefully.
The whole Cybertruck incident certainly exposed a more sinister air to this guy and his machinations. I mean, his core philosophy is that being an attractive looks-max person allows you privileges that other people don't have. And you have to genuinely wonder if Clavicular in his head thinks that he could get away with murder because he has a perfectly bone-smashed jawline. If I were him, I'd consider myself extremely lucky that I'm not in prison right now. Kick, true to form, would unban Clavicular just days later. The guy is now one of the biggest streamers on the platform and is an inescapable presence on social media. And him being known to the scale that he is now is in many ways because he ran over a guy on a live stream. Well, it looks like Clavicular just got banned again. As I'm recording this, apparently he shot an alligator on stream. So yeah. Jack Doherty live streams himself wrecking a motor vehicle and cries about it.
No, my fucking... I just totaled my fucking McLaren, bro.
It's not a stretch to say that much of the reason streaming while driving has become this mega controversial thing, well, it's because of this little twerp here.
Fuck. What do I do?
Jack Doherty.
No! No! No!
Possessing one of the most punchable faces in streaming history, this clout goblin hobbit of an influencer is somewhat peculiar in that a majority of his viewers are essentially hate watchers who only tune in to see him fail.
What? Yo! What the fuck?
Now, it's not entirely unique to have like a 95% hate watch audience. Look at modern day iDubbbz or lolcows like Darkside Phil.
Literally tonight, we have had 1 sub and 200 kicks on Kick. Can we get some more Kick support? That's $7.
The difference between them and Jack is, well, this little bastard has learned to monetize his hate quite successfully, while these fuckers are nothing more than digital panhandlers with bad attitudes.
I'm a bitch. I'm a very mean person.
Jack has embraced the role of internet heel, performing disruptive pranks, picking fights with larger influencers, and staging ridiculous public disturbances for live streams that often end up serving as rage bait on X and subreddits like LSF. But not every rage-inducing clippable moment from Jack is created intentionally. One of the greatest ways to showcase Jack's self-centered nature and narcissistic persona is to revisit this infamously unplanned stream moment that occurred back in 2024. That unplanned stream moment, of course, being a fucking car crash.
Oh! No!
I think a lot of you remember this happening, but likely have never seen the moments leading up to it, or the immense amount of cope and pity partying Jack deployed after it happened. Fuck it, let's ride. On October 5th, 2024, Jack was live streaming to Kick while behind the wheel of a $200,000 custom-wrapped McLaren 570S. His associate Michael David was filming. It was raining outside, and as you can see, Jack is constantly distracted reading his own chat, which was filled with hate messages, many of which were calling him ugly. The guy can't stop reading them. I was actually pretty shocked when revisiting this footage. I think it's fair to say Jack cumulatively had his eyes on his phone screen for longer than he did on the actual road. Like, how are you streaming to thousands of people doing this? Bro, turn the fucking camera off. Jack continues to obsess over his phone until his luck runs out and it becomes hydroplane time. It turns out that wet roads, when combined with distracted driving at interstate speeds, well, it ends both violently and expensively. Take a look.
You're so scared. Oh! Oh! No! 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 Oh, fuck. No, watch out, watch out. Oh! Oh! Michael! Yo, oh, fuck! How? Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. How? I'm shooting the window, watch out, I'm shooting the window. No, don't do it, don't do that. Why? Where's your phone? Breathe. I'm shooting the window. Ugh, don't do it. Help! Help! Help!
A group of good Samaritans helped Jack and Michael out of the vehicle. Any reasonable person at this point would have the stream shut off, but not Jack. This guy will shut down an entire highway system if it makes good content.
Oh my gosh. There's no fucking... Michael, here. Michael, do you have your film on that phone too? No. Oh my god. My car is totaled, bro.
Michael, who is profusely leaking blood and on 1 HP, continues to film Jack's narcissistic meltdown. My car's totaled, bro.
My car is totaled, bro.
It's really telling that Jack allowed this to be streamed. He really thought people would feel bad for him. Nobody does.
Dude, I've never been in a car accident before.
And because it's the Jack Doherty show and we're all just side characters, I guess despite his reckless driving shutting down the highway, we have to make time for his fucking bimbo girlfriend to hug little Jackie Wacky before everyone's allowed to continue with their already miserable commutes.
Okay.
What a little baby, dude. Nobody fucking cares.
I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
Anyhow, Jack's car was totaled, eventually impounded, and the roadway would be restored, inconveniencing hundreds of people in the process. People were pretty used to Jack being a self-centered prick, but something about this incident hit different for a lot of folks online. The fact that he was brazenly showing his distracted driving, the fact that he's doing so in a $200,000 McLaren that he bought simply to boost his ego, the fact that the wreck injured the cameraman, but the car in the stream was seemingly more important than the injury. There was seemingly no care about how his negligence affected the lives and safety of normal commuters. And the implication from Jack was that, well, we should feel sorry for him after all of it.
My car is totaled, bro.
But it's anything for views, right?
Alright guys, we're in the hospital after the crash.
Guys, it was just a freak accident. I don't know what happened. This hits differently when it's a genuinely likable figure getting into an accident. Like, yeah, if PewDiePie got into a wreck and almost died, bro, I would fucking cry. That's my blood cousin. But with Jack, nobody cares because you have a record of being a scumbag who does shit for attention. Nobody is buying what you're selling, pimp. Needless to say, folks were fuming, and this was one of those extremely rare circumstances where even OnlyFans models were giving good takes about a drama situation. Thankfully, there would be punishment for Doherty as, well, the streaming platform that had thus enabled much of his chicanery would finally crack down. Later in the day of the wreck, Jack Doherty would wind up getting banned from Kick, which is a feat in and of itself. A spokesperson from the brand said, quote, "Kick does not condone illegal activity, which is why we swiftly took action to ban this creator from the platform." It's really one of those the worst person you know just made a great point moments. Following his ban, ridicule, and immense public disturbance that he caused, Jack would continue to show his inability to reflect in any way whatsoever, publishing a video where he shows up to the impound yard where his McLaren is held and films without the property owner's permission.
To rip the engine off? Oh, I didn't know it was that bad. Wow. Where's all the rest of it?
That's how it was on the scene, but I'm gonna have to ask one more time to please turn off the camera.
Sorry.
Dude, Jack Doherty having a dad is like uncanny. Like how? What were the life lessons? What did you do to this kid? Bro looks like he's a member of the Lollipop Guild. Jack's McLaren wreck was really the first time that I remember a streamer car crash really consuming internet headlines into this like singularity of outrage. Yeah, there were streamer car wrecks before this one, but you know, Jack's felt like the start of something bigger. More and more cases have been popping up since this happened, partly because these streamers are never really punished in any meaningful way. For example, Jack's only legal punishment from this was a measly citation issued by the Florida Highway Patrol for using a wireless communication device while driving. And later in the month, he got a ticket. Whoop-de-doo. He probably made 1,000x the cost of that ticket from the stream and subsequent videos after the wreck. Oh, and Kick? Well, they eventually revoked his ban and let him back. I guess they'll just take anybody they can get over there. Jack Doherty continues to be a complete menace on social media to this day, but I think his shtick might be running its course. I found that most of his more recent attempts at outrage just don't hit the same as they used to. And really the only clips you see of him going viral these days are him whining or getting turned down while trying to hang out and collab with other streamers. He's essentially the like you weren't invited to the club guy now. Whatever, all my homies hate Jack Doherty. 18-year-old Instagram live streamer kills her sister while drunk driving. I don't think it gets any more tragic than this, and it's a less talked about case and just another reason why these platforms should ban streaming while driving altogether. On July 21st, 2017, 18-year-old Obdulia Sanchez was on a joyride to Stockton, California with her sister 14-year-old Jacqueline and a friend 14-year-old Manuela. The three were on their way to attend Jacqueline's Catholic confirmation ceremony that was being held the next day. She was totally drunk and also live streaming her exploits on Instagram as she drove recklessly through streets. During one particular clip, Obdulia's sister can be heard joking around saying, quote, "You're gonna kill me." Sadly, this joke was more of a premonition. As Obdulia was driving through the area of Los Banos, she suddenly suffered a blowout on Highway 165 and lost control, veering off of the highway through multiple lanes of traffic and crashes into a barbed wire fence, flipping her car, ejecting both Obdulia's sister and her friend from the back seat of it, killing her sister on impact, along with the friend enduring multiple injuries to her leg. Instead of ending the live stream in an abhorrent display of lack of empathy, she not only continues streaming the tragedy that occurred by her own doing, but actually films her sister's dead body, saying that she doesn't give a fuck and more. The stream would be deleted, but was apparently recorded by a friend who had tuned into it and uploaded to Facebook. A full recording of this thing does exist online, but I cannot play it here. On the scene, Obdulia would be arrested and face multiple felonies, the most serious being vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. After the crash, the whole incident went viral on social media, covered on numerous platforms. You know, the idea of a young girl recording her sister's death causing massive uproar online, naturally. She would later be interviewed by the media and explained why she was live streaming and driving while drunk. She said that everybody did that. Obdulia also said she was sorry for what happened to her sister, admitting that she looked like a monster. The prosecutors labeled her crime as downright depraved. Her public defender attempted to argue that all of it was the result of previous trauma and a history of being trafficked, which I guess that means that you're allowed to just like accidentally kill your sister. I don't know. Ultimately, Miss Sanchez would plead no contest to the charges of vehicular manslaughter and child endangerment and driving under the influence. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison, though in September of 2019, she'd be released on good behavior, serving just under 2 years. You could say that she caught a break here, and you'd hope that she'd try to turn her life around after killing her sister while engaging in criminal activity. However, her troubles with the law continued. Just a month after getting out, she got into a high-speed chase with Stockton police after they tried to do a traffic stop and she wouldn't pull over. Sanchez would go on to spend the next few years in and out of legal trouble. That is until her pattern of criminal activity ended in tragedy again. And some might say what happens is some twisted form of karmic justice. On December 2nd, 2025, at the 700 block of Gertrude Avenue in Stockton, California, Sanchez and a male friend would be the recipients of a drive-by shooting. They were found later by police strewn across the ground, peppered in gunshot wounds. After being rushed to the hospital, the man was stabilized and survived the ordeal. However, Miss Sanchez would succumb to her fatal injuries. The person responsible for this was later arrested. The motivations for the killing unclear. Well guys, you made it to the end of this video. Let me know what you thought about it down below in the comments section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I'm gonna go for a ride. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Wavy Web Surf out. Peace.